Imagine a world where a single tweet can crash a company's stock price or ignite a global debate that lasts for weeks. We're talking about the man, the myth, the legend, and the ultimate headache for every PR team in existence, Kanye West. Or maybe I should just call him Ye, depending on which version of his personality woke up today. Is he a misunderstood genius who shifted the sound of modern music, or has he finally pushed his luck way past the point of no return? It's the ultimate pop culture riddle that keeps us all glued to our phone screens, waiting for the next headline to drop like a surprise midnight album. Let's go back to 2009 to find the spark that started this fire. You remember that night at the VMAs, right? It was the moment the world stopped spinning for a second. There was Taylor Swift, a wide-eyed teenager holding her very first trophy, and then out of nowhere, Kanye hops on stage. I'ma let you finish, but Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time. That wasn't just a rude interruption, it was the birth of the ultimate villain arc. It was the catalyst for a decade of friction, snake emojis, and a narrative shift that made Kanye the guy everyone loved to hate. It was our first real sign that this man did not respect the rules of polite society. He was going to speak his truth, no matter how much it hurt or who it offended, and honestly, pop culture hasn't been the same since. While his mouth caused trouble, his vision led him to the bank. Kanye didn't just want to be a rapper. He wanted to be a fashion icon. Remember those early Nike drops? The Red Octobers became legendary, with fans camping out for days just to get a pair. Then came the massive jump to Adidas, a move that turned the Yeezy brand into a multi-billion-dollar empire. He single-handedly turned high fashion into streetwear and made the dad shoe the coolest thing on the planet. It was total chaos. It was visionary, and for a while, it made him one of the wealthiest individuals in the industry. But with Ye, what goes up usually comes crashing down with a public explosion. We can't discuss his peak power without the Kardashian era. When Kanye and Kim tied the knot, it felt like two planets colliding to form a new solar system of fame. They were the ultimate power couple. The king and queen of the digital age. He overhauled her wardrobe, and she gave him a platform unlike anything he had ever seen. For years, they looked invincible. But behind those polished Instagram photos, the cracks were starting to widen. The public meltdowns, the erratic behavior during the Sunday service era, and the eventual messy divorce became a tragic soap opera that none of us could turn off. Then came the transformation into the new Ye. He wasn't just Kanye anymore. He changed his name and traded rap for gospel choirs. The Sunday service era was a wild pivot that left even dedicated fans scratching their heads. Was this a genuine spiritual awakening or just another layer of performance art? He started talking about peace, but the headlines were painting a picture of a man who was becoming increasingly isolated. So why are we still obsessed? Why care about every cryptic tweet? Is it because we are waiting for the old Kanye to return, or are we just addicted to the spectacle? Before we continue, subscribe to the channel and tell us in the comments exactly where you are watching from. Seriously, let us know your location now, because the influence of Ye knows no borders. But stay tuned, because this story is just getting started. If you thought the VMA stage was wild, you haven't seen anything yet. The upcoming decisions he made didn't just offend people, they cost him his empire. If you thought the Sunday service era was a lot to process, now dive into the roller coaster that was the 2020 presidential run. It wasn't a stunt, it was an emotional chapter that left the world in disbelief. Remember the campaign rally in South Carolina? There was Kanye in a bulletproof vest, breaking down in tears while sharing private details about his family. It wasn't just about politics. It was a heartbreaking display that had friends and family begging him to seek help. The late-night Twitter rants that followed were like a digital wildfire, with Ye lashing out at his mother-in-law and claiming he was being targeted. The world was watching a man reach for the highest office while appearing to go through a personal crisis. But the drama didn't stop at the ballot box. Once the divorce from Kim Kardashian became a reality, Kanye started a social media war. The Skeet era was messy. Kanye turned his Instagram feed into a weapon, posting screenshots of private texts and launching relentless attacks on Kim's new boyfriend. While some corners of the internet were laughing, people debated harassment and public meltdowns. Kanye was using his fame to vent his frustrations in real time, and the backlash was massive. Everyone called him out, but he didn't seem to have a stop button. He was a man obsessed with control, even if it meant burning his reputation to the ground. Just when we thought things might cool off, Kanye flew to Paris and broke his relationship with the fashion elite. During his YZYSZN9 show, He debuted the White Lives Matter shirts, and the fallout was instantaneous. This wasn't just about pushing boundaries, it was seen as a direct provocation that crossed a line for many longtime supporters. When high-profile fashion editors criticized the move, Kanye didn't apologize. He doubled down and mocked them online. This was the final straw, the bridge to the high fashion world, which he had spent over a decade building, wasn't just on fire, it was being completely demolished. The consequences were a financial disaster. We watched the ultimate bridge burner in action as his multi-billion-dollar partnerships with Adidas and Gap evaporated overnight. For years, Kanye had bragged about how he was untouchable because of the revenue he generated. But after a series of increasingly disturbing interviews, the corporate giants quit. He lost his billionaire status instantly. Behind the scenes, the reports were even worse. Former employees from the Yeezy offices and his mysterious Donda Academy started coming forward with stories of a toxic, chaotic environment. There were rumors of erratic rules and a general sense of fear. Then, just as the world thought he might disappear, enter Bianca Tensori. His new wife appeared almost out of nowhere, and the mystery is huge. Fans have been watching her radical fashion transformation with a mix of confusion and genuine worry. Rumors suggest that their marriage isn't just about love, but a calculated move to keep his brand alive in the midst of global cancellation. She went from being a Yeezy employee to wearing some of the most extreme and controversial outfits ever seen. Is she his new muse, or is there something more concerning going on? Kanye is a master of trying to control the narrative. He wants us to believe that all of this, the losses, the controversy, the social exile, is part of a grand plan to be free. He sets the world on fire and stands in the middle of the flames, claiming he's the only one who can see the truth. But as the smoke clears, you have to wonder, is he still the genius in control, or is he just running out of bridges to burn? He tries to control the media while setting it on fire. Every single time we think he has reached the end of the road, he finds a brand new way to shock the system, making us question whether he is truly the one in charge of this chaotic circus. As we look at the rubble of what used to be the Yeezy empire, a massive divide has split the internet right down the middle. On one side, you have the loyalists. These are the ride or die fans who claim that Ye is just being a pioneer of free speech. They see every outburst as a masterstroke of performance art and refuse to let go of the man who gave them the college dropout. But then there's the other side, the former fans. For these people, the line wasn't just crossed, it was erased. They've deleted the playlist, sold the shoes, and officially hit that unfollow button. It's a civil war in the comments sections of every social media platform. One side screams genius, while the other screams dangerous. It wasn't just the fans who walked away though. Hollywood, the very machine that once bowed at his feet, turned its back faster than you can say Vogue. Big names who used to clamor for a feature or a front row seat at his shows suddenly found their voices to condemn his most controversial statements. The silence from his former inner circle was deafening. Where were the old collaborators? Where were the people who used to call him a brother? They disappeared, leaving Ye on an island of his own making. And yet, while the world was debating his downfall, the internet did what it does best. It turned everything into a meme. Every bizarre outfit, every frantic interview, and every paparazzi shot of him and Bianca Tensori became viral gold. We see these memes every day on our feeds, but does that trivialization make us forget the serious nature of what's happening? By turning a public breakdown into a mood or a reaction pic, are we ignoring a very real human crisis? It's a weird paradox where we are laughing and cringing at the same time, making it harder to distinguish between a marketing stunt and a genuine cry for help. This brings us to the conversation that everyone is having, but no one seems to agree on: mental health. We know Ye has been open about his struggles with bipolar disorder, but where do we draw the line? Is his diagnosis an explanation for his erratic behavior, or is it just being used as an excuse to avoid accountability for his more harmful words? Some people feel he needs help, while others feel he needs a reality check. The public's empathy seems to have a limit, and many feel that limit was reached long ago. Now let's talk money. Is the billionaire status gone forever? Losing Adidas was a death blow to his bank account, and the fashion world is still keeping him at arm's length. Can he actually rebuild? Rumors are swirling that he's trying to go completely independent, cutting out the middleman and selling directly to the people. But without the massive distribution power of a global giant, can Yeezy ever reach those heights again? It's a high-stakes gamble. He's trying to prove he doesn't need the system, but the system is exactly what made him a billionaire. So what's the next move for the man who refuses to be quiet? Will he find a new corporate partner willing to take the risk? Or will he stay in this underground lane forever? We see him traveling the world with Bianca, appearing in Italy or Japan, looking like a man who is both lost and totally free. He's navigating a life after Kim Kardashian and the corporate giants. Do you think Kanye West can ever truly have a redemption arc, or has he finally burned too many bridges to count? Can he ever come back from the canceled list? Or is this the permanent new reality for Ye? Drop your theories in the comments below. Is he a misunderstood visionary, or just a man who went too far? Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.